live. Oh, that's not meant to be like that. Thanks, game. I forgot that I changed our fucking reactive images earlier because the fucking other campaign, and now it's like a whole fucking thing, man.
How dare I run the other campaign?
Yeah, no. Luckily, they let you just save groups, so click one button and everyone's portrait changes. Don't have to do it one at a time anymore. Hooray!
You just gotta keep adding the portraits to the stream layout, so eventually it's just old portraits.
Forgot that I was rolling the fucking calamity cannon in chat over here. That's gonna probably need to go ahead and just get rid of all that. Welcome to
Peel that back a little bit.
Session 30 of Abomination Vaults, by the way. We've been doing this for a little over half a year, I believe.
Technically
I feel like
31,
it's past
but
30, really.
it's
It
technically
is
31. We
technically
had
session
one non-stream
31.
session.
Thank you for that. Regardless, need to just delete all of this. Alright, I think we're up to date now. Session 30 of Abomination Vaults. I am DM Stray, the Mastermind, and the Tale Weaver, and the Story Keeper, and the Dungeon Master, and the Key Master, and the Sand Guardian, Guardian of the Sand. Wow, nothing from you guys, huh? All of that? Not a one of those
Oh, I
stuck?
was just gonna say I'm getting in on the fighter.
Okay. Good talk. We're running Abomination Vaults. Let's introduce ourselves. Gideon.
The fighter.
Okay, cool. Good talk. Cezanne.
Hi everyone, I'm Rallief. I'm playing Tazan, the cleric of the party.
And what do you think about the Abomination Vaults?
It's been a day. The morning started with a werewolf and it got worse.
If I had a nickel for every time my adventuring day started with a werewolf and somehow got worse. They're bad omens.
I mean, yes, I think most people would consider a werewolf a pretty bad omen.
Not Wesk. Wesk, tell us all about the freaky shit you would do with a werewolf.
I would shoot it because I'm a gunslinger. Then I'd probably miss because my rolls have been shit.
I set you up for a 6 slam dunk and you just...
Slam dunked myself.
You guys don't watch this, but there's a fucking Dimension 20 skit about this. It's great. I've been so tempted. Anyway. Ziri.
I'm Zilly. I play Ziri. She is an animus. And spell list is way too long.
I'm pretty sure about half of your session time is just spent opening your spell list and staring at it for hours, huh?
Yeah.
It's not every caster.
No, it's not.
It's worse.
No,
It's
Ziri is definitively up there with Fear and Stray. Which is...
It's worse than Wizard. Not by a little.
It's not as bad as Fear and Stray, but it's literally the second worst caster. And by worst, I mean the best caster, but too many
she's
options.
She's only level 4. Give her time.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, genuinely. Anyway, for one hero point was to tell us what happened last time.
Downtime. Done.
Downtime did not happen last time.
Last session started out post werewolf. We went through the stone doors and then around a corridor. Or Ziri found the hidden room that when
No,
we
that
went...
that wasn't last session.
That was also
That was
not
the session
last
before
time.
last.
That was... Thank you, Riley.
Shit, you right. Fuck. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, last session we came back We were trying to get our bearings, and then Ziri decided, nah, I'm gonna go back to try and get Gax, though. By herself, ran into Tobias, said, it's fine, we've cleared out these floors. Ran into an enemy on the floor we've cleared out. Tobias managed to manhandle that enemy.
I was going to say, if you didn't call it manhandling, because that boy just fucking... I've seen high school footballers with less fucking game.
He did what I do, but upsettingly better.
They made it down. Ziri managed to get Gax back without causing any... Well, get a shard of Gax's soul back. In the meantime, we went up to the Menhem's estate to talk with Mayor Menhems himself to try and learn a bit more about the Rose Guard. We found out that when the rogue fell through, he also lost his lucky lockpick, which I would like to take a look for at some point, but that would require like excavating out the hole. And we went to go to the graveyard to look for
You could
Ziri.
right through that rubble.
We found Tobias instead looking at a grave. He had a day. And then we all met back up at the inn where Ziri was performing a ritual to get Gax back.
Alright, take your hero point.
Then what happened, Yuri?
We wouldn't shut up. So Ziri couldn't concentrate.
Never mind, that's not important at all.
Should I jump in here?
We'll gloss right over it, baby. We're gonna... Don't worry about
Moving
that.
right along. Got
We're
it.
gonna move right along. Not important. Didn't matter. Nobody paid attention to that. Anyway.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Listen, I can't remember everything.
Mm-hmm. Not important. Doesn't matter. Irrelevant to the plot.
Probably nothing.
Probably nothing.
Everything's probably nothing until it's definitely something.
That's an awful nihilistic way of looking at the world and reality, but, you know, who am I to stop you?
Hey, look, some things that aren't nothing are surprise parties. And once they become something, it's great.
That aside, we do return back to the shoreside town of Otari, joining our party. Our paranoid party. Gideon, Wesk, Cezanne, Ziri. Ziri having concentrated on her spell this whole time. Cezanne freaking the fuck out because he's Cezanne. Gideon calmly, but also freaking the fuck out. And Wes just kind of vibing. It is approximately 2 o'clock in the evening. What would everyone like to be doing?
I'm gonna ask Zeri for my Slinger's Mark back.
But I gave it back, did I not?
You did not.
Okay. She will go ahead and hand it over.
Alright. You hand back the small golden badge with the crosshairs on it back to Gax. Or not Gax. To Wesk, sorry.
Two Gax.
Sorry, I always get Gax and Gex the Gecko mixed up, so you know.
Oh, he's a Yoshi.
You're right. Any words, Wesk?
Thanks, and sorry.
Nothing to be sorry for. Rather you be carrying it than me.
Yeah.
Silence hanging over the room.
That's right. Suzanne,
Yes?
didn't we want to go get my, have Rin read my fate?
Well, to my understanding, Rin's spell only works when it's, night out. I might be remembering wrong, but
Stars. Can't do it. Not today.
would be.
Gideon will begin doing a set of squats.
Gideon will begin what?
Doing a set of squats.
I see. Gideon begins squatting emphatically in place. Dear, you're doing like a really precise ritual right now, and while it's not hard, it's tedious, and frankly, you're just kind of still in a pissy mood. Gideon has been doing squats silently for about 5 minutes now.
A lot of squats.
Mm-hmm. You've also been doing them in full plate.
Yeah, that's true. It's fine. It's designed for movement.
You're adventurers. You're built different.
Ain't no better way to learn than what I'm gonna have to operate in.
Awkward silence takes over the room once more.
Stop, cat.
Same.
Well, then for now...
$101, $102, $103.
I can't sit still like this. I'm going to go, I guess, train / practice.
Okay.
You say, Stray, that, Ziri will need to continue to focus on that spell, or that she had already focused on it, now it just takes a while?
It just takes a while.
Okay.
You've kind of set it and forget it. You might check it about 5 minutes every day when you first wake up. Make sure it's all going to plan, but...
Swapping to crunches now. Still in full plate.
Yeah. I'm gonna...
There's a nice resounding thunk every time he finishes a crunch.
Wink.
Suzanne, what are you doing?
I mean, I've been trying to stick in here without disturbing Ziri, as I've last time noted what spell she was doing. So I'd say probably reading.
Okay.
Once Ziri finishes the important parts of the spell, she's gonna go ahead and kind of gather up a few things and head out the door.
Okay.
Um, I'm off. I need to take care of selling a few things.
Do you want anyone to come along?
I mean, suit yourselves. I'm sure I'll be fine, but if someone else has business to attend to.
Siri takes her leave out the door.
I'm gonna go practice. I'll head out as well.
Wesk follows shortly after, maybe about a minute later.
I still do need to talk to her later.
Thump.
Like,
Thump.
If you're mumbling over there, you got time to do crunches. Come on.
What?
67, 68.
Me?
Come on. You look like you could stand to get in shape.
I kind of feel like Rin did say something similar at one point. Let's give it a try.
Alright. Let me show you the user regimen. We're going to start 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 50 squats. Plenty of juice. Every day. For 9 months.
That seem a bit much?
Basic. I agree. Don't worry. We'll improve. Alright. Let's start with the squats. Gideon returns to squats. Megatros is on a proper form.
Do my best to mimic what he's been
Give me an
going
athletics
for.
check.
The very least might take mind a bit off the situation. Yes. I could roll well here.
You could.
But you don't.
You will not. I believe that is a 3. Cezanne, you've got energy and gusto to spare. Right until you get to about the 10th one. It does not take long at all. By the time you've hit about mark 15, you have essentially stopped, panting and wheezing and puffing.
Come on, 35 more to go. Not like that.
It is at this point Cezanne stops breathing for a small bit.
Maybe we should start with the crunches instead.
I'm just gonna kind of do my best to just brace myself against the side of the bed and try and catch a little bit of breath.
Give me a fortitude save. Okay. Yeah, Cezanne just give you about 10, 20, 30 minutes to catch your breath, and you'll be right back to... You'll be good as rain. That's where we go to the Otari markets. Ziri, what are you up to?
She is going to try to find a place that looks like it might buy this gold paperweight.
Very well. Luckily, there's a few hagglers and hustlers out in the markets. It's sort of an eclectic variety of people from out of town. Much more like a bazaar than any proper store around here. Despite this, you do find a traveling merchant selling dozens of scrolls and books right up your alley. He offers to, you said the gold paperweight?
Yeah,
He offers you 10 gold for it.
very well. I'll hand it over.
Alright.
Should I add the 10 gold?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there's also just a sell button on the paperweight if you would like.
Oh, whoops. Oh well.
That's
I'll
okay.
delete it since I've already added it.
That's fine.
I'm going to ask him if he might be interested in this portrait as well.
The portrait of Volok.
Yep.
He chuckles a bit, looks it up and down. An ex-boyfriend of yours?
Not my type.
Huh. Well, I mean, it's a fine portrait, but truth be told, I'm not entirely sure who would want it. I mean, it's a drow, so...
Yeah, I mean, just gonna look at it. Fair enough, I guess. Figured I'd ask. She'll kind of put it back in her pack.
You stuff it into your pack once more. Just beside all of your books and your contract to hell and other assorted goods that Ziri has.
Well, thanks for your time.
Anytime, miss. It was a pleasure doing business. Would you be interested in any of my scrolls, any of my wares?
I mean, I'll take a gander if you don't mind.
Very well. He's essentially selling most level 1 and 2 scrolls and level 1 wands.
Alright, and scrolls are usually around how much?
It
Level 1
depends
or 2?
on the level of the scroll.
Okay, let's say
but
level
s-
2.
Level 2 scrolls are about 12 gold.
Okay. And wands are pretty expensive, right?
Yes, wands are once per day, but they are permanent, so they are slightly more expensive.
Hmm. Uh, I don't think there's anything I need today, but I appreciate it.
Alright, well, if it interests you, I'll be in town for the next couple of days. I'd be happy to serve. Forgive me if this is untrue, but it looks like you know your way around a spell or two, so it's good to find somebody. Diviner, maybe?
Something like that.
Okay. These little backwoods towns are an absolute treat for folk magic, so perhaps we could talk it out sometime.
Sounds great. Just gonna go ahead and give him a polite nod before kind of moseying off.
Very well. Wesk, you're by yourself, meandering through town.
I'm gonna make my way up to the forest.
Okay. You just head all the way out of town, huh?
once I'm like a good 100 to 200 meters into the forest, Wesk is basically going to jerry-rig like a little, almost shooting gallery to practice on.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a crafting check. Alright. But I don't have this, do I? Nope, I do. Cool. As you begin to hook up a rather simplistic but functioning training area. Your dexterous little fingers, well accustomed to the fiddly, smaller mechanical parts of cleaning and maintaining a gun, and your years upon years of practicing with this small hunk of metal that sets you apart from your brethren ever since a young age, serving you well. You begin to line up and set up a small little obstacle course for you, catering to your strengths, sort of practicing. Go ahead and give me 3 attack rolls.
All at
I will let you pick.
all at highest, no MAP.
Sure. Alright, you leap into action. You quick draw, land a perfectly placed headshot on the first target dummy before whirling around and scampering under it before it can even fall. Darting to the next target, you draw your kukri and slice. It's not a clean slice, unfortunately, as much as you would have liked to have done it. And unfortunately, from then on, you've become focused on your weaknesses rather than your strengths. And as you go to finish your routine, your next and last shot flies wide, striking something nearby that's not your target. It is an unsatisfactory performance for one like you.
Grunting, I set everything back up and I go again.
Okay. That's where Gideon, Tazan. It's been about 20 minutes and Tazan is now breathing normally again. He's also a little less blue.
Alright, time for the push-ups.
Goodbye, come on.
Alright, time for the push-ups.
How are you doing that in plate?
This is the normal training regimen. You're on the easy variant.
This is usual?
Well, you're on like the basic modified version. I didn't want you to have the full military training, but that's pretty basic, yeah.
You shudder to think about how Gideon grew up, if this is what he considers easy.
So is this type less rough than the previous one?
Yeah. Your B option is getting stabbed to death.
I feel like we're talking about two different things, but
No, if you're not in shape to avoid getting stabbed, you get stabbed.
Your mind drifts back to childhood days of playing with your friends as a kid, Cezanne. Getting stabbed was not an immediate threat.
what Wolfcrow is like?
Well, that's what some of the outer parts of Wolfcrown are like. The city proper is somewhat worse.
Worse?
I mean, you're not going to get shanked in an alley, but someone will stab you in the back. I might even tell you they're your friend first.
I see.
Your thoughts drift back to boyhood days, Gideon. About that one wonderful day when an Ochu got loose in the streets and all of your friends found fun dodging all of its lashing tentacles before the magic warriors could restrain it.
Good times.
Fortunately,
I'm starting to.
trouble is quite common in the puddles from where you're from, so the guards respond quickly.
Nobody died that time. Well, if you're not up for another round of training, I think we should see what the others are up to. I don't know where West went, but didn't Siri mention going out to sell some things?
Yeah.
I really wish you would check the stash first.
Elsewhere, Ziri, what are you up to?
She's just wandering around at the moment.
Okay. Begin to head northward, not out of any choice, but mostly because that seems to just be where your feet want to wander you. Passing by Galantine Deliveries, the rider that rides to Ashton and the local areas to import and export some localized goods, some special custom deliveries should you need it. Otari is a tiny little town that you have grown quite accustomed to. Any further destination in mind?
Nothing specific at the moment. She just seems to be kind of musing over something in her head,
Very well.
wandering aimlessly, but putting off going back just yet.
Very well. Go ahead and give me a will save if you would.
Oh, I already had my thing open. Oops.
Very nice.
I will indeed.
You find some focus and renewal in the solitude. It's not that you necessarily hate the others, but it's a dramatic change of pace this past month that maybe you haven't been accustomed to, and this sort of recenters you, as it were. I'll go ahead and lower this duration. No, I cannot manually. Alright. Regardless, as the quiet babbling of the river that the loggers use at the Otari Flume sort of comes into view. You know that Ren is just around the corner of this building here, but you don't quite catch her interest just yet. It's about then that you hear gunfire in the woods to the north. West, what are you doing?
I'm running the sorry, words are escaping. The simulation simulation I've set up.
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet. Thank you.
Okay. Give me another 3 attack rolls.
There we go.
Wesk, you are hyper fixated on fixing that one mistake to the point that you are no longer focused on anything else at the moment. The drill begins, the gauntlet that you've set yourself up for. You quick draw fire from the hip without even trying to aim it this time. Haste making you sloppy. The bullet ricochets off a nearby tree. You dive under the target. Drawing your kukri, you swipe. And infuriatingly, despite hyperfixation on it, you cannot get it right. Your kukri slams into the target, but you cannot wedge it out. With a cry of anguish and hate. Just for existence in general right now, nothing seems to be going your way. You ram your gun directly into the target, foregoing any sort of target practice, and blow a hole straight through its chest, making your kukri drop free. So there's a lot of gunfire, and as you leave town, it's getting louder to your north.
He is heading towards the noise.
Very well. As you begin to meander your way through, it's more gunfire and then silence for a bit before you hear an anguished Wesk scream loudly.
At the noise, she'll kind of speed up a bit. Trying to figure out what's going on. Catch sight of him.
You round the corner and you stop yourself before you emerge fully into view. Wesk is huffing and puffing and panting, and he's kicking up dirt. And there's a number of charred target practice circles scattered around the arena. This little makeshift clearing off the side of a road.
Upon seeing what he's doing, she'll kind of slow down and step kind of out of sight, or where she thinks that she wouldn't be easily seen,
Give me
and watch him.
give me a stealth check.
Yes, the sneakiest party.
Oh no. Oh yes.
Okay. Wesk, your senses are in a high alert right now. The blood pumping in your ears, question mark? This metaphor falls apart. Regardless, your heart thudding in your chest, this mixture of righteous, indignant rage of why can't you just be what you want to be? Why does it feel weird in this body? This gun was not made for these hands. And it's at that point, with your senses all heightened, that you whirl around to hear the snapping of a twig and see a figure duck behind a tree. Poorly. It's Ziri. You caught her before she ducked behind the tree, but she is now still behind the tree hiding. You can ignore her or confront her. It's your choice.
To be fair, it's gotta be pretty hard for a satyr to hide.
She's also like 6'9" or something.
Yeah.
Like,
She is
6'4".
going to peer around the tree, making it clear that she's not trying to be like super sneaky, and if he's looking at her, she'd probably see that.
You don't have to hide.
She'll step out from behind the tree. Wasn't really trying to hide, just saw it looked like you put some effort into something and didn't want to interrupt.
Not enough effort.
What's that mean?
Means I need to try harder.
Harder than what?
Harder than I am right now.
Are you telling me you've been half-assing it? She's going to kind of cross her arms and raise a brow.
No, but
Well, have you been giving it your all?
I have, but these rookie mistakes I keep making.
I think we all make mistakes, Wesk. If you've been giving it your all, then you can't really try harder. All you can do is just keep trying your best, I guess.
But my best isn't good enough. It's not living up to... Weskel pull out his badge. It's not living up to this.
I think the standards you're worried about living up to are actually your own. And like I said earlier, I'm glad you're the one that's carrying the medal, not me.
Weskel, put the badge back. I guess I don't feel like, in my mind, I feel like I haven't earned this. I'm a fake slinger. I'm not what they were.
Well, like I said, Wes, the only standards you have to live up to are your own. So, if you haven't earned it yet, I'd say just keep trying. Or, I mean, you could give up completely and choose a life of crime, but, you know, I don't really think that would be a route that would bring you the same type of passion as this one, right?
You already know I've screwed up too much in this town for a life of crime.
Well, I'm trying to get across is I think you're a gunslinger because it's what you feel in your bones. Just gonna kind of stare wistfully into the distance as she says bones before looking back to him. So, you know, you either are or you aren't. You're a gunslinger. Stop being so hard on yourself.
So, why are you out this way anyway? I tried to get far enough from town I wouldn't disturb anyone.
Oh, I don't know. I was just walking around trying to, think, and all of a sudden she's gonna kind of get that light bulb type of look before looking back to Wesk. Actually, would you be willing to help me with something?
Sure, what did you need help with?
Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but if you trust me, I'll explain it all tonight if you can meet me in the graveyard after the others are asleep.
That's fine.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Wesk. Well, did you want to head back, or would you like to linger here a little longer?
Let me give it one more shot.
Fair enough. Just gonna kind of wander away, but be obviously slow because she's kind of being nosy.
Musk is gonna set about setting the gauntlet back up.
Okay. Gideon, Tazan. Elsewhere.
Alright. I'd say we should probably go. Kaziri at least. Unless you have plans already, Sadan.
I don't, but
Something on your mind?
just a little bit about what we all talked about yesterday. I just don't want to come off as being too nosy, but it does seem like she's had things going on, especially with going to the Gauntlet by herself earlier. Well, with Tavius,
What?
but still.
You don't think she was just trying to get Gax back?
I very much think that's the case. I don't know why she didn't ask us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Well, nothing better to do than go ask her.
True.
I'm gonna start heading towards the door and just sort of wave behind me, trying to wheel Sazan along with me.
I'll go along with him.
Okay. Two of you bound down the steps, bring a fond farewell to Tammy before making your way outdoors.
Right, so we're gonna owe her another week's wages soon.
Not Tammy, Brenda. Tammy is the...
Yes.
Very well. Where are the two of you going?
Last I checked, I know she was heading out to sell things, so probably towards the market.
Markets, yeah.
Very well. Meander past the Crook Snook, the rowdy little...
I'm gonna check by and ask if anyone has seen a satyr lately. It can't be a common sight in these parts.
Okay. Within a bit, everyone... Yeah, you get pointed towards the north. She was last seen heading north after dealing with the man.
Sure.
North.
We'll head that way.
Very well.
You think she would? Think she went to try and sell something to Tavius or Rin?
It's possible. I mean, Blades for Glades right around the corner. We can stop by and ask if he's seen her. I'd stop by on stories, but I don't think she has any positive memories.
Okay. You reach swing by Blades for Glades, realizing that it is closed again.
Oh, right. He was at the graveyard. Must not have come back yet.
It's been a while.
Maybe he's at the Cook's Nook. Either way, he's not at his storefront.
Yep. I think she stopped by Ren's.
I mean,
Right around the corner.
yeah. Decent possibility. Plus, it wouldn't be bad to let Rin know that Wesk
Yes, you made it back safe.
Well, she knows that. We talked earlier.
All right. That happened after we got back. Unfortunate. Yeah, you probably shouldn't leave her again without letting her know you're going.
I just want to be considerate. Last time we swung by in the morning, she seemed a little, out of it.
Very well. The two of you swing by Aren's Wonders, the makeshift little collection of tents. For one, Aren Savinxi looks up from where she is sitting under her tent reading a book, legs crossed. Excitedly, she hops to her feet. And
Gideon
darts over to-
preemptively pops out one Sazan in front of him with both hands.
Huh? Get in?
You are the sacrificial lamb as Ren slams into at full speed, Sazan, hugging you tight.
Oh, hey, Ren.
Hello, Sazan. Hello, Gideon.
Hello.
What brings you here?
Is there any chance you've seen Ziri around?
No, I have not. Should I have?
We just
Well,
thought
we
she
were
might
told
have
she
come
headed
by
this
here.
way, and this was the most likely suspect.
She shrugs before releasing Sazan.
Oh, she didn't come by
Glances
here.
back and forth between you two.
Oh, that does remind me, Ren.
Yeah.
Wesk was wondering later if you'd be able to potentially read his fortune like back in the back in the Dawnflower Library.
I suppose I can. I can't do it right now, of course, because
Oh,
of the...
yeah,
I would only be happy to help you.
yes. I mean, he's certainly not with us right now anyway. I more meant later.
Is he not with us anymore?
Oh, well, he's not... He's alive, but he's not here.
Oh. Well, that's good.
Yes. So then, would you be okay if I swing by this evening for that?
Oh, sure. I might have something for you this evening as well.
Huh? Oh. Oh. That works out then. You've been working on something?
I have. It's that was something that I've been working on for a while now, but I thought I would show you. I think you might appreciate it more than anyone.
In that case, I'm much looking forward to it. I'll glance back at Gideon.
Well, now where do we go?
No idea.
Have you checked the graveyard? There's talk around town of her being in the graveyard a lot now.
That wouldn't surprise me, but we were told she headed north.
She could have
Graveyard is
gone
not
up and
north.
around.
Graveyard is not north.
The Gauntlet is north.
Oh god, I hope she didn't go into the gauntlet again.
Yes, that would be upsetting. It's a dangerous place.
I'm gonna have to go check just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Oh.
We'll see you tonight, Ren.
Gideon, here.
Thanks for the advice.
She is going to dig into her pocket and pass you. Let me see if I can find it here. She's going to pass you a flower, Gideon. There we go. She passes you a small white flower wrapped in a number of leaves, bound together with a lock of hair. If you're going to go there, take this for safety.
Oh. Well, thank you. Can I ask what it is?
Oh, I thought you would know. It's a lover's knot.
Ah, would I know that?
Yes, they are from Wolfkrone. In fact, you identified Cezanne's. A lover's knot is a
those
one-time use of lover's lace. Lover's lace is made of lover's knot.
I see.
However, lover's knots are consumed upon use but have no limit per day.
I see. Very handy. Thank you.
Anytime. I'm all too happy to help. Alright. The two of you head up.
Yeah.
Ren throws her arms around Cezanne before turning and holding her hands out to you as well, Gideon.
I'll shake your hands.
No, she grabs you for a hug.
I will awkwardly put arms around her.
The one-arm hug indeed.
Both arms, just with a safe 3-foot distance.
Why? Because she's a tiefling? Well, you gotta make it racist.
Honestly, I don't even register the fact that she's a tiefling.
Very well. The two of you head out to the gauntlet.
Yeah, we'll head that way.
Okay. Back your way or out to the front gate?
Out to the front gate. We're closer.
Yeah.
Very well. The two of you begin meandering your way northward and spot Siri coming out of the woods.
Please tell me you didn't go to the gauntlet again without us.
Gonna kind of perk up at the sound of the voices because she was focused on something else. No. I was just selling some stuff, like I said, and I heard shots out in the distance, and then I heard Wesk yell, so, you know, just went to make sure he wasn't being murdered.
It's about that
Is he
time
okay?
that gunfire is once again going off to the north.
Yeah, he's fine, just doing some target practice.
Makes sense.
What are you guys up to?
Oh.
Trying to make sure you don't go back into the gauntlet again.
I don't need a babysitter. Just gonna kind of rush past them.
You don't need a babysitter, but that's not the kind of place where I would even go alone. Just saying. You got more than just yourself here.
I'm fine, don't worry.
Actually,
go
Ziri,
back.
You're right. You are alone. You don't have Gax anymore.
We'll soon.
Okay.
Just gonna keep meandering away.
Breaking stride, Siri stomps down the street.
I can never get a girl.
That's why you cut out, and so that was just, I can never get a girl.
I said I could never get a read on that girl, but you know,
Poor Gideon.
And suddenly 27 new viewers popped in to go same. Alright. Wesk,
Huh?
Yes.
give me 3 more attacks at a -5. Okay. You compose yourself a little bit, Wesk. And even though you're starting to show signs of exhaustion, having run this drill for about 30 minutes straight, you're being very harsh on yourself. Luckily, Ziri did stop you and give you a small break, whether you willed it or not. You find yourself running the drills again and again and again until your movements become rote and practiced. You would not call yourself naturally gifted. Your movements are more about repetition and muscle memory than any sort of skill, any sort of natural talent, any sort of natural aptitude with this weapon that lies in your hand. But there's a certain confidence that can only come from something that you've done hundreds, if not thousands of times. And as you routinely go through these steps, firing, slashing, firing, slashing, firing, slashing, set them all up. Firing, slashing, firing, slashing. The first pangs of exhaustion are hitting you, but your muscle memory is developing. This time you hit about 70% of your targets in a manner that even satisfies you.
With that, Weskull sheath his gun and kukri for the time being. Make sure that there's no like debris blocking the path or anything, and
it's about
turn
this
back
time
around.
that Tavius begins to meander his way down the road to your north.
I'll confused and a little curious. I'm
Your
going
eyes
to
meet,
follow.
and he looks away from your gaze as he stomps past you. There's a fresh injury on his side, and he hustles past, doing the sort of awkward fast walk that you might do if you were passing by someone in a hallway.
I'm just gonna call out to him as he walks past. He should probably get that looked at.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Is it anything I should be concerned about?
Nope.
Okay. I'll give him a minute before I start making my way down the same path.
Okay. Tavius comes into view of both of you, Gideon, Cezanne. He's sort of larger man.
Hi. Whoa, what happened to you?
Nothing. I got hurt.
Okay, but how, though?
I got into a fight.
But with who? I'm gonna stop him and start looking at the injuries immediately.
Okay. Give me an athletics check as he resists you.
Cool.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hero point that.
Okay.
Much better.
Very well. As he
If
initially,
nothing else, my hero points are gold.
as he initially brushes past you, the effort of pushing you away causes him to flinch for just a moment in pain. And as he goes to kind of nurse the injury leaning forward, you catch him and manage to restrain him this time. Hand across the chest. Give me that medicine
Still
check.
just only take a second.
I don't really want the be here right now.
Too bad.
I'm trying to go home. Okay. That's impressive, I have to say.
120 and 1. Oh boy.
I think that's damage.
Yes,
I
that
think
is
so,
damage.
too.
The target takes 1d8 damage. Yeah. So. Okay.
If you critically fail, it
You
is damage
are
by default.
making it significantly worse.
Will you stop struggling?
I just need to go home. I'll be alright when I'm home. Noticing that he's not going to be able to get past you, Gideon, he looks to you, Zazan, and begins to just push you out of the way backwards.
Just
You
make
hold
sure
him
you get
still
that
for like
treated,
10
okay?
seconds.
Wesk, you are given Tavius enough time that you won't have this awkward re-meeting, and nope, no, he's still here, being stopped by your party members.
I said get it looked at. This
Alright.
wasn't exactly what I meant.
Well, he's doing an awful lot of looking and prodding, and it's hurting worse now. Could you come get your fucking gorilla?
If you would hold still.
I seem to have held still, and, well, and he points to the blood dripping on the cobblestones.
You have been wiggling the whole damn time.
I am trying to get home. I am being stopped. I will be alright. I can take care of myself. I've got supplies at my house. Please let me go. I don't want to be here right now. It's about that time that you hear a man begin to walk down the cobblestone streets behind you in the town. He takes a step and drags his foot. Takes a step and drags his foot.
Wait, what kind of fight did you get into?
I get into a fight. I'm going to... Cezanne.
Yeah.
It's your fortitude save, bud. Not
He's just trying to
21,
push
huh?
past. If he's just trying to push past me, I'm not going to resist.
Okay. He goes to push you past, and Cezanne takes a step back, relenting. And he is leaving. Is anyone following?
I'm gonna look behind us at that dragging sound real quick.
Okay. There is a battered-looking man kind of clutching at some wounds, bruises on his right leg, right arm. His shirt's a little tattered.
I'm actually probably going to follow Tavius.
Okay.
Are you alright? I'll ask to the other person.
Okay. He looks at you. Oh, thank God. Help. I just... He sort of leans on the cliff nearby, sort of catching his breath.
What happened?
Some men in the woods. I don't know. I'm a merchant. I was coming into town. They robbed me.
I'm going to... Can he walk? Or not really?
He's limping. He's battered and bruised, and maybe a black eye, a bloody nose, bruises visible on his body. No blood, no injuries, or visible injuries rather. He's been roughed up.
Okay, I'm going to help him as best I can walk to the town guard station.
Here.
Okay.
I'll, assist with that.
Alright. The two of you help escort them out. Gideon disappearing around the corner. Ziri, what are you up to?
Didn't realize I was muted.
I
Okay.
was about to say good talk.
What time is it currently?
It's about 3 p.m. You've been out for a little over an hour.
Okay. She is gonna head towards the library.
Alright. Meander your way down to the Dawnflower Library.
Yep.
Whereupon the Dawnflower Library greets you, the sapphire and gold sort of almost Middle Eastern design. The acolytes hustling about inside. Looking for anything in particular?
Nope, she's gonna just kind of be browsing.
Okay.
Trying to, I don't know, waste time and soothe herself by looking at books.
Very well. Fandy does take note of you, but as she sort of scans your face, she seems to sort of just know that you want to be left alone. So while she sees you, her eyes light up and she takes a step towards you. She stops herself and kind of adjusts her robes and gives you just the faintest hint of a nod and then proceeds on her way, leaving you alone. It seems like she's even instructing a few of the acolytes to not mind you.
Going to give a nod back and offer a weak smile, but turn back towards the shelves and kind of browse them.
Okay. Before long, you find a nice treatise on arcane and primal energies and the differentiation, and some very, very dry biographies right up your alley.
Right, she's gonna take the book and go to like one of the comfy areas, try to settle down and do her best to start reading it.
Okay.
But as she reads it, she's notably having difficulty focusing, and the pages aren't turning near as quickly as they do because she keeps scanning the pages over and over, trying to read it.
Okay. Notably, Ziri, you felt off for a while now, all the day, ever since the fight with the werewolf. You feel awful. It is as if there is a voice in your head that anytime you try to think to yourself, it is whispering into your head. It is increasingly hard to focus, and it is getting increasingly hard to sort of shrug off this sort of these noises in your head that are whispering things that are slowly becoming more interesting to you than the book. You shake them off because you can't quite make out every word, but you get the feeling that something is in this cathedral with you. There's a shadowy figure just behind the bookshelf, always perceiving you out of the corner of your eye. And every time you go to look at it, It darts behind the bookshelf again. But just as soon as your attention moves away from it, there it is again. A solitary figure that nobody else seems to mind. 4 elongated black fingers snaking their way around the corner of the bookshelf one at a time, before some eyes that don't belong to any creature you know of, blurry in your peripheral vision, continues to watch you.
She's gonna kind of lift the book and shift it in front of where the creature seems to be in her vision. And then continue to try and read for a couple seconds before kind of closing the book quickly and seeing if it's there and she can see it any better.
No, it's disappeared from sight.
At the moment, just gonna kind of turn away from where it was lurking, try to ignore it, and keep reading. She's also gonna try to will the voices to go away.
Okay.
She's trying really hard to read this book.
You sure are trying really hard to read this book. Emphasis on try, as you are not making any progress. That's fair. Gideon. Tavius fumbles for some keys on his belt hook before sliding the key into the latch, clicking it open and stepping inside, quickly trying to shut it before you can enter behind him.
I'll drop my foot in the door.
Okay. You are going to take 1 point of damage. Actually, you know what? Yeah.
There we go.
You're going to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. As he goes to slam, your foot catches the door. His eyes meet yours, and he leans on the door a little bit, painfully. We're closed.
Yeah, I'm trying to help. This isn't a business call.
Trying to help who? Me?
You.
Doubt that. Doubt that, bud. You seem to have made the bleeding worse, so...
Yeah, if you'll hold still and sit down for a minute, it's gonna get a lot better.
I can take care of myself. It's just a little cut.
I'm gonna look him down, up again. Once again, up and down. No, it's not.
Agree to disagree, then. Have a nice day. He leans on the door again.
I'm gonna put my arm through the door this time.
Okay. Give me an athletics check. Okay. Yeah, alright. You do manage to just punch your way through the crack in the door, grabbing the other side of the door, peeling it back out of his hands despite his efforts. You find yourself inside of the Blades for Glades once again.
Go sit down.
For the love of all the 12. Fine. He rubs his hands before stepping away from the door, letting you in, before slamming it shut and locking it behind you. Once the key is safely back in his pouch, he begins to meander over to a small set of chairs, perhaps for customers at one point in time, but long been abandoned now. He flops down into a chair, attempting to appear in less pain than he actually is. He sits down and lets out a small hiss of pain through his teeth, before gesturing around the room. Well,
This time I'm going to actually take the time to pull out the healer's tools.
okay.
Begin attempting to stitch him up.
Give me a medicine check.
Just a straight medicine check.
Yeah, treat wounds. Whichever. If you've got any bonuses that are specifically for treat wounds. Alright, better. You do manage to, after about 10 minutes, begin to patch up his wounds. Fortunately, nothing too bad. It's a nice, good stab wound, but Tavius is a tough customer, and he shrugs it off, and you realize that it's not life-threatening in any sort of manner. Okay, good. Are you happy now?
Happier. You want to tell me what happened?
I got into a fight. I told you.
Yeah, you told me that. I don't think you're the type to just randomly go around and get in fights.
He stares at you for a moment. Have you talked to literally nobody in this town?
I've talked to a lot of people who don't have the highest opinion of you. None of them have fought you.
Nobody will fight me. Nobody's that stupid.
Yeah, which is what tells me that if somebody put a stab wound in you, it wasn't anybody in this town.
He sighs heavily. Guilty is charged, okay? He was from out of town. I don't know. He's being an asshole on the road.
Asshole on the road. What did you get accosted by bandits?
Maybe. There's a lot of bandits around here.
And what sort of bandit managed to get the jump on you, much less put a knife in your stomach?
Happens to the best of us. When a guy can't have an off day.
I mean, I've had several off days in a row, and
Including
I've come back
today,
with-
apparently.
Yeah. Can't argue that one, I guess.
Okay, well, I thank you for the help. Please leave. The shop's closed. And as you can see, I need some bed rest. I'm not in the healthiest of minds or bodies right now, so I'm just gonna kind of sleep this one off, and if you'll just see yourself
Fair
out.
enough. Alright, now that I know you're not gonna die, you wanna lock the door behind me?
Of course. In fact, I would have liked to have locked the door in front of you, but, well,
Yeah, my foot can tell.
well, maybe it'll be your face next time, alright?
Just don't go getting stabbed again.
Nope. In fact, now I'm going to go get stabbed on my own. I'll do it myself, despite you.
They call me the stupid one. I'm gonna go ahead and take off towards the door.
Okay. Tazan, Wesk, you guys have escorted this man to the guardhouse, the garrison. Along the way, you've realized that his injuries aren't life-threatening, but he has been savagely beaten and robbed.
We're gonna. Oh, I'm going to attempt to drop him off in the guardhouse, and then just try and like turn and walk out.
Okay. Tazan?
You think you're gonna be good from here?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these things happen sometimes, you know. It's the first time for me, but, you know, I know a couple of guys in the business. you know, roads are safe, I always thought, so I never sprang for bodyguards. Silly me. It's an investment, really, when you think about it. Investment in my safety. Uh, so, call it a expense of the business. He chuckles painfully.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the guards here will be able to do something for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Oh.
Thanks for the assistance.
No problem. I hope you have a, well, better rest of your day.
Well, I mean, it can't get worse, right?
It would be hard.
He steps inside of the garrison, the headquarters of the Otari Guardsmen. Sturdy stone building with the banners of the Menhims.
I'll try to catch up to Wesk.
Okay. Wesk is a good 60 seconds ahead of you, so don't you hustle and bustle.
I'd really rather not get in the middle of whatever that is going to be. Plus, I'm pretty sure the town guard still isn't exactly thrilled with the escape.
The what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, the things, I didn't realize there were bandits out on the road. And
Yeah,
think that had anything to do with Tavius's injuries?
I'm gonna say it's the most likely answer, but I can't say for sure. Either that or there's still a bandit out there.
True. But guess this is probably something for the town guard.
Exactly. We unfortunately have more pressing matters to focus on.
Indeed.
To begin to meander your way down the street, a couple of the school children being let out at about this time of the day on their way back home. A few of them give a cheer when they see you, Wesk, throwing you a wave in the distance as they run past on their way home. A couple of them smile at you as well, Cezanne, since the two of you seem to travel together a lot.
Give them a nod. Seems you're still quite popular around here.
Yeah. I hope that one day I can live up to what those children see. Anyway.
Oh.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just asking straight if we're aware of Gideon being nearby.
No, Gideon is spending 10 minutes to treat wounds.
Weska's
Gideon chased after Tavius, but you assume they might be in the shop, but...
starting down Rosegard Road to head back to the inn.
Guys, he locked me in here. Help.
I'll stick with Wesk for now.
Notably, once we get to about here, Weska hops over to Wyvern Street.
Going somewhere?
I'm just giving the Otari market a wide berth for a while.
see. Should I ask?
Do you want to ask?
I'm a little curious.
How much do you know about geopolitics?
Admittedly, less than I probably should.
Sorry, I just. I want you to know I had to really resist the fucking. Anyway.
Sadly, somehow in this party, Gideon is the one who is the foremost expert in geopolitics.
You grew up in
I
Wolf
mean-
Crone, the literal heart of the world.
Yeah, I guess it does make sense.
I'll put it to you this way. Me and anyone from Wolf Crone that works for Wolf Crone, we don't get along. Wesker says as he takes the
Gideon
Small
sneezes while treating his wounds.
Not in my
bridge.
face.
I see.
Don't worry. I didn't kill anyone. I didn't even attack anyone.
Gideon emerges from the shop with a bruised foot.
Try to help a guy out.
Good news, Ziri. You've managed to read one chapter in about the last 30 minutes.
Is she still noticing shadows?
Yes. Notably, it is not multiple shadows, it is one shadow-like creature that constantly peers around the corner at her.
Alright. Just gonna eventually give up and kind of close the book. Probably a bit harder than intended because she's both frustrated and anxious. And go to return the book to where it was on the shelf.
Notably, you'll have to walk past the shadow creature to get back to that shelf.
Okay.
Okay. You stomp around the corner, and as you approach it, the creature ducks back behind the corner before you can get a direct line of sight on it. As you round the corner, however, it's nowhere to be seen, but you can feel its gaze directly in the back of your head. This honed danger sense of being an adventurer has given you. The book slides back onto the shelf in a satisfying, tight, snug little hole. I should have phrased that better.
You said it, not
Damn
me.
it. Alright. She's gonna ignore it and go to leave the library.
Very well.
And
Do your
head to the
best
Rowdy
to-
Rock.
Do your best to pretend that it's not there, or it's all in your head, and convince yourself that surely this shadow creature is just in your head and not real like the many other shadow creatures you've dealt with. It's about that time that Gideon and Wesk have approached the inn as well. An inevitable meeting in the doorway as they talk among themselves a little loudly.
But yeah, so long story short, I just had the idea to show this guy that I was better than him, and it kind of blew up in my face.
He's just gonna continue into the Rowdy Rockfish and head up the stairs if they don't like address or whatever.
And if I see Ziri, I'm gonna say hi at the very least.
She'll wave, but continue on.
Could we, any chance we could talk in a bit?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm just gonna go lay down for a while.
Yeah. Take your time. A lot's happened.
That she'll go ahead and go inside.
Okay. Gideon, you find yourself meandering down the road back to the Rowdy Rockfish by yourself.
Yeah. If I
Trying
can.
not to limp on the bad foot.
That worse.
Swear he's.
Today, unfortunately.
You swear he dented the metal on this thing.
I bet he did. I'm pretty confident the only reason I can overpower him is because he was injured. Man, it's like
Whatever.
a bear. An angry bear.
Whatever Tavius's deal is, that man is an absolute behemoth of a man.
An angry bear.
He would fit right in with your childhood.
Yeah. I didn't say it was an unfamiliar bear. If I can, I'd like to stop by the market to see if I can pawn off this thing.
Very well. You do swing by the Otari market. Collection of stalls and bazaar tents. What are we selling?
I also have a goal. And if I can find somebody who'd be willing to take a short sword, I'd fund off. I would have gone to Blades for Glades, but, well, that had complications. I don't think I'm going to find a buyer for the pig right now. That would be a Blades for Glades thing, but a short sword should be easy enough.
Very well. You do manage to sell the short sword. Somebody offers you 9 silver for it.
Sounds like a deal.
Go ahead and mark down 10 gold and 9 silver if you would. And then delete the items from your sheets.
Will do.
Alright. Tazan West Ziri. Ziri stomps upstairs.
I wouldn't say she's stomping anymore. She's probably just trudging at this point.
Alright.
She looks weary and tired.
The weary Ziri.
The weariest of Ziri.
Meski's probably gonna sit down and have some water.
I'll join him.
He did do a lot of training. He's thirsty.
Ziri is going to crawl into bed and kind of curl up and roll over and attempt to go to sleep.
The cool sheets are refreshing. It's not exceptionally hot in Otari, especially considering this is relatively early in spring. In game, it is March. It is March 15th as far as the season goes. It's a little
Beware
chilly,
of the Ides.
but the cool fabric of the now familiar home away from home, this inn room that you've shared with your companions, greets you. And as your eyes shut, as you will yourself into that unconscious state, you still feel like you are being watched. Almost habitually, almost like your days as a child, you pull the blanket over your head for a measure of safety. You feel very alone without Gax, but you also feel very not alone. Gideon, you're selling the pick.
I didn't think I'd be able to sell that here. At least not at a good price.
Somebody offers you 90 gold for it after examining the runes, and you point out that it is, in fact, a very well enchanted pick. Yeah, I can probably scrap this for parts, he says.
It could still go for more than that.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Diplomacy doesn't. Oh, no, it does. Good thing I'm good at it.
Looks at you,
Good thing I'm
scoffs a
good at-
little bit before shoving it back into your hands a little roughly. That's a piece of trash. I didn't want it anyway.
Yeah, alright. I can hang on to that one for a little bit. It's still, after all, a good weapon.
Okay. You end your way back to find the boys sitting on the porch steps taking swigs out of their canteens.
You sitting on the porch and drinking?
Just relaxing.
Yeah.
Gideon pulls out the bottomless stein and offers it to the boys.
I'm good.
Gideon pulls out the bottomless stein and offers it to Wesk.
Well, what?
The
up?
bottomless stein.
The
Oh.
bottomless mug of beer.
Let's go shrug and take a sip.
That's alright.
Thanks.
It's
better way
room
to relax.
temperature.
Yeah.
Really apply a whole chance thing one day. Gideon
Let's
will
go.
also take a sip out of it.
Yeah. Hand it back.
Oh, that's right. Wesk?
Hmm.
We did talk to Rin while we were out, and she's fine with us coming by in the evening.
What you think?
Yeah.
So, anyone get any information on what exactly happened? Because, to my knowledge, there's not a lot of people in Atari who could stab Device in the gut and have him limping home.
I think Tobias just having a really bad day.
We did run into one other person who was injured who said that he was attacked by bandits.
Yeah, sounds like he's having a really bad day. We'll take another sip from the mug. At least my day's on the uptick. He's gonna kick his foot around a little bit. I swear I think he bent them.
How
You know, they
was he?
call me the stubborn one most of the time.
Did you end up helping him?
Yeah, no thanks to him. But he's down for a nap.
Hmm.
Did you end up getting into any more trouble? Did the guy you found make it out alright? If Device looks like that, I'm sure he was beat to crap.
No, you're not wrong. We brought him to the town guard, and I didn't really want to stay there because of what happened last time.
No, that's fair. Although they did just kind of let us walk out.
Listen, I'm not questioning it, but I'm also not going back to give them a second chance to think about it.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fair. I feel like if we show up there enough times, they're gonna start getting suspicious. That's what I'd do. waves are nice.
Alright. The boys spend about 20 minutes catching up, filling in each other of they've been doing, swigging a few drinks, sharing a few talks. It's now about 4 p.m. Siri, give me a luck roll. Okay. Sleep does finally take you. It's not a comfortable sleep, but it is a sleep of exhaustion, mental strain. And as the darkness grips you, you find yourself in a familiar place. It's a dark room. You can't see the walls, but you can see the floor around you, and you realize it is your childhood home. Your mother has grounded you. You're not entirely sure why, but you find yourself kind of just sitting on the edge of your bed, kicking your feet, waiting. You know that you're not allowed to leave the room, though you're not sure why. When you hear the door click and slowly slide open, you go to raise your head at who's visiting you and can't bring yourself to look at its face as the figure strides across the room. A pale, white, bony hand, barely any skin stretched over it, reaches up from the figure's sides before reassuringly patting you on the head. As gentle as can be, its hand cold as ice. The hand reappears in your vision back at the creature's side, before slowly reaching down. It touches your neck, raising your chin slightly, and as you now find yourself gazing around your room, for some reason you really want to leave your room. The creature strides out of the door, leaving the door cracked just wide enough for your small little body to slip out the door.
Not that small.
When you were a child?
Oh,
This
fair.
is your childhood home. Childhood.
Yes, yes.
It's little Babby Ziri.
Babby Siri.
You know that there will be hell to pay later when your mother catches you, but right now you just go outside to play. That's where, boys, you've been chatting about life in general for about the past hour now. It's about 5 o'clock p.m. What are the rest of you doing?
You think we should get Brenda like a fish? Like, I just feel bad constantly having dinner without. I mean, we are paying for the rooms, but you You get where I'm coming from?
I kind of get it. She's been incredibly good to us for this whole time we've been here.
Kazoon died?
Mm.
What was
Yeah,
that?
if you're trying to say something, Como, you cut out the whole thing.
Alright. This is on West. You two off to go get a fish?
Yes, yeah, let's head to the fishery.
Okay.
Hold on, I missed something. I'm feeding dogs. I
Alright.
got back and said that we were going to fish.
Wes was saying we should get something nice for Brenda because of
She
the
was
time. Yeah, sorry.
just like a thank you for everything she's done for us.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds like a pretty good idea. I'd join for that.
Alright. Three of you meander your way back to the Otari fishery, and a deep wave of nostalgia hits you as you recall your initial meeting was here at the Otari fishery. That night of meeting one Tammy Tandervale, the red-headed woman with one leg, peg leg that swapped it out, greeting you and paying you each 10 gold for your expedition into the cavern in her basement.
The base. Well, we never finished exploring.
Stepping inside of the shop, a familiar face greets you. Oh well, there's some sights for sore eyes.
Hey, how's it been going?
Been doing great. Well, as great as we can be these days. She taps her peg leg, chuckling. And what can I do with my little heroes?
We're actually here to purchase a fish as thank you to Brenda, who owns the rockfish, for letting us stay there.
So thoughtful. Well, is there anyone in particular you'd like?
Does anyone know anything about fish?
I am
You
not
haven't-
from a fishing village.
Do you have anything freshly caught for today?
Freshly caught, of course. Everything's freshly caught. She gestures to the window outside where the shore lies, maybe not more than 30 feet away.
Give us something that would be good in a stew. She's made a lot of stews.
Very well. I'll see what I can find. Shall I?
Thank you.
She begins to hop off her bar stool and begin to meander away to her catches of the day. The pungent air in the fishery greets each of you.
I thought I'd get a sense of nostalgia about fish. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah. Was an odd experience. Remember tossing the light fish down the hallway?
What was that?
Remember when we tossed a light fish down the basement?
Uh, uh,
I'm much happier with the torch. Can
yeah.
Yeah.
take out the ever-burning torch before returning it to his bag.
I'd say it works a lot better.
Haven't even had to throw it down any hallways lately. Been lighting sconces.
Oh, not since you threw it at that shade of Belcora.
Yeah. Honestly, I was surprised that worked.
Before long, Tammy returns with a impressively sized lobster, maybe about the size of a small dog,
Well,
before flopping it onto the counter, patting it, proud of herself. What say you to this?
That's certainly impressive.
I didn't realize they got that big.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly is something. I assume it's not going to be cheap, though.
Yeah, for you, I'll make it a special. Give me 1 gold for it.
Done.
Sounds like a steal.
Well, I mean, I do owe you a lot. Couldn't have even got the place up and running if it weren't for you. Say, what happened to your other friends?
Well,
The weird guy with the head.
he's no
Oh.
school teacher.
Oh, that's not what I expected.
I don't think any of us
Us
expected
either.
that.
You could probably find him a few blocks up.
And the other one?
He's back resting. It's been a bit of a rough day.
I see. I'm sorry to hear
Had a
that.
long day. Lobster might help.
Lobster always helps. That's why you
Lobster
should give me a
always-
gold for it.
Sure thing.
Let's go. And Marigold.
She pockets it quickly. Give Brenda my regards.
Of course. Wesk will look to Gideon. Listen, if I carry that, people are going to think we're
I'll
dancing.
grab the lobster. The lobster is roughly Wesk size anyway.
With an unspoken agreement, Gideon begins to manhandle the small dog lobster into his hands so as to save Wesk the embarrassment.
Thank you.
Mental image of Gideon holding a small dog-sized lobster is amazing.
Out to Aziri, fast asleep in the realm of dreams. The bony figure that you know as your father quietly unlocked the door for you to slip out unbeknownst to your mother. And as you dart outside, you realize that you've no one to play with. What do you think Zuri does?
I would imagine that she just kind of wanders around and looks to entertain herself. Probably looking for things like mushrooms, dead stuff, cool sticks. I don't know.
Alright.
But does feel lonely.
The escape from your room when you know you shouldn't be out here is bittersweet as you realize that it's lonely. As you begin to sneak off into the woods near your house, you begin to pluck some mushrooms, though you don't know anything about them at this time in your life. Begin to find some sticks, turning over rocks, watching bugs scurry out from under them. You find a good sturdy stick before prizing open a larger rock. So this moment that you feel a familiar icy cold touch in the back of your neck, your head being pat twice once more from behind. And as you turn to look at your father, the bony white hand with barely any skin stretched across it comes over your shoulder and into view a small black speck pinched between its fingers. Instinctively you reach up to take it, knowing it is a gift. Much larger in your tiny hands than it was in this creature's. Begins to unfurl itself at your touch. It's strange, like holding mercury, almost like a liquid, fuzzy to the touch. You sort of poke and prod at it before sitting down, flopping onto your butt directly in the mud as you do. You poke and prod and play with it for a little bit, unsure of exactly what you're doing, but before long you've made a small little creature. You poke 2 eyes into its face and give it a big toothy grin before the eyes blink back at you one at a time. It lets out a small yawn, shutting its eyes. Undeterred, you give it a small shake to wake it up again before it nibbles at your hand defensively. Finally, it settles down just as you do. You aren't sure exactly what you've created, but it's some sort of life form.
But I know I love him.
You love him, and you'll squeeze him, and love him, and pet him, and call him George. Regardless, you have created some sort of life form in your hand, and that's all your own, and you made it yourself out of the material your father gave you. Another ice cold, chilling head pat from the pale white hand with barely any skin stretched over it, concealing its bones inside. A feeling of pride washes over you as the hand reaches down and very gently sort of gives the small creature in your hands a single finger noogie on the head. It attempts to bite it as well, but the finger pulls back before it can bite. A deep, uproarious laughter fills your head, Ziri, as you find yourself bolting awake, incredibly alone, hot tears streaking your pillow. It's approximately 6 p.m. when your friends stride into the inn once again. You hear them outside the window, not necessarily see them. The small 1-hour nap, barely a reprieve from the anxiety you feel.
I'm gonna go ahead and get up grudgingly and wearily go downstairs to try and scrounge up dinner.
Okay. The three of you watch as, just as you enter, it looks like Ziri is rousing and coming down steps as well.
Is there?
Gideon's gonna hold up the small dog-sized lobster. He's not saying anything. He's just holding up the lobster.
Hope you're hungry.
For that, I'll point at it.
Gideon will nod.
Yeah. I'll look around to see if Brenda is visible.
Brenda's not visible, but you hear her somewhere in the inn room busying yourself.
We got it as a gift.
Well, I suppose I'll eat whatever's in front of me, so if that's what it is.
How do you want to do this, Wesk? This was your idea.
We should probably just present it to her as thanks. So someone should probably go grab her.
Gideon waves with one of the lobster's claws.
Huh? I say go
Gideon
for it.
nudges Cezanne with one of the lobster's
What?
claws.
Me? Okay. I'll go see about bringing Brenda out.
He's gonna go and flop down on a bar stool.
Okay. Do so. The flump. Before long, you hear Zazan coming back with Brenda. Do you explain what is happening to Zazan?
I'll explain it as Wes had something for her.
Very well. I don't see what all the fuss is about. Why can't you tell me?
Because if he tells you, it wouldn't be a surprise, now would it?
She wipes her hands on her rag as she walks and talks behind you, Cezanne, stopping only occasionally every now and then to stop and fuss with a portrait hanging on a wall to straighten it, or to look begrudgingly at a small smudge on a door frame before tutting and making a mental note to come back to it. She keeps the place immaculate, for the most part, until you guys arrive and ruin everything. As she rounds the corner, the dwarvish woman in tow, behind the much taller than her Cezanne, but only about half as wide as her. She looks at the small lobster as Gideon gives her a small lobster wave.
Didn't even have to say it.
I know what you were going to do. How many meta levels are you? Anyway.
Oh, 4 or 5, my dude.
This is also part of the planned script.
You don't know.
You fool, the entire campaign is secretly scripted. You didn't get the notes.
Brenda's eyes light up. Oh, a rockfish. How thoughtful.
We just wanted to say thanks for everything that you've done.
Oh, well, that's lovely. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Well, let's give it here and I'll rip it to shreds.
Yes, ma'am.
She easily manhandles the lobster about as large as she is.
Give it a last little wave, Gideon.
Oh no, it's gone now.
She's slung it over her shoulder now, and as the lobster disappears around the corner, its eyes locked to you, Gideon. Or rather, you get the
Gideon will
feeling
wave to
it
the
will.
lobster. You're in the hands of an expert now.
For some reason, Gideon, you get the feeling that if it could, the lobster would wave to you and tell you to be good before disappearing around the corner.
Gideon gives a mental thumbs up to the lobster.
You find yourselves
I'll miss
alone in the
him.
rowdy rockfish once more.
How are you, doing, Ziri? Rest help any?
Can't really say that it did this round.
Okay.
Sorry, you wanted to talk?
Yes, I'd like to speak in private briefly, but if you're not up to it at the moment.
It's fine. If you've got time, I do.
Sure.
She'll shrug and kind of wearily stand up and gesture at him to lead her wherever.
Well, just go up to the room for now.
She'll follow.
Okay. Once we're inside, I'd move to address her. So, first, I'd like to speak about earlier today. I have a
About?
number of things to say, and I'm not really sure what the order should be, but that thing that happened during the werewolf fight, that was what I thought it was, right?
What did you think it was?
You pulled out a awfully large book, and you cast a spell with some awfully specific imagery. This isn't an accusation. I'm just wanting to make sure before I go further.
I never said you were accusing me of anything. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly you think I pulled out. Was it this
Is that the
book?
book?
She's gonna start digging through her bag and pull the book out, kind of brushing off the cover before turning it towards him.
Yeah.
Ziri shows you a book called Dragon Heat.
Describe the cover, would you please?
A chromatic dragon and a metallic dragon, star-crossed lovers, embrace each other passionately, half-closed eyes, one of their tongues are out, longingly searching. Anyway.
This book?
Is that a book you tend to cast spells from?
Oh,
I
that's where
mean-
the magic happens.
What can I say? We all find our inspiration in our own ways, don't we?
Can I see the pages?
Sure. Just gonna hand it to him.
Okay.
Like to look inside.
For just a moment, however, Sazan, you do pause because you realize now that, of course, the Whispering Reeds has been encased within this Dragon Heat book. You pause for a moment and just wonder how elaborate this erotica was that it could dwarf the entirety of the... Anyway, it's best not to dwell on that before you take sanity damage. Regardless, you peel back the cover, and the book has been hollowed out to reveal your suspicions.
I'll hand it back to her.
A moss-covered skull decorates the front of the book, vaguely wet to the touch, and though you dare not flip open its pages to read them, you're able to quickly identify what this book is.
Siri, can I ask how much you know about Starfallen?
How much do I know about Starfallen Stray?
Give me a knowledge check.
What's a knowledge check?
Arcana, occult, nature,
Ah,
history, or I guess social.
I'm gonna re-roll.
Very well. Okay. You know of Starfallen, you know quite a... You wouldn't say you're an expert or a specialist or anything like that, but you know far more than the average person would. Starfallen are an ancient enemy of the world. That long ago they were defeated. But, Starfallen are notoriously evil creatures that do not belong in this plane of existence. They were terrible, terrible creatures that the entire world went to war with about 4,000-ish years ago. And they were soundly defeated. They were killed. And they were pushed back by the Golden Heroes. You know that Starfallen possess many unnatural magics. You know that Starfallen possess many unnatural qualities, and that it seems like they are a foreign race that came from a different plane of existence to invade this plane of existence. You don't know incredible amounts of details, but you know far more than possibly the average person would.
I'm going to give him a very basic breakdown of the key points of what I know and say a moderate amount. Why?
This, I've been vague about this in the past because, well, having knowledge is to draw attention, and I didn't want you to have to go through that, but I think we're long past that. This imagery here, I'll gesture to the mossy skull. This is symbolism for Nimbaloth, which sorry, just to make sure I'm correct, Nimbaloth was a Starfallen, right? That's right.
In a manner of speaking. Nimbaloth is their goddess.
Yeah. This is the symbolism for goddess of the Starfallen. And, well, I'm worried that use of this book, use of this power, is only to draw more attention onto yourself from them. I'm worried for you. When I saw the book, I was worried about it. I didn't want it to risk anyone having to go through that. And, well, when I saw the book had disappeared from my sack, it had been counterweighted with other books, I was even more worried. I know you're very curious, but I didn't want you to have to go through this. Especially since I thought at the time that I already had some attention on me based on things I'd been seeing in the Godlight. I made an effort to try and get it back, and maybe I was childish about that. Maybe I should have spoken to you. And for that, I'll apologize. But please do be careful.
Kind of heave a sigh before offering a half smile that's not wholly convincing. Well, I appreciate the concern, Suzanne.
Yes, and there's a couple other things, and I'm not sure how I should say this, but I'm sorry about what happened later. I knew there was danger in there, and I shouldn't have let you send Gax in. That was my fault. I'm sorry.
What happened to Gax is nobody's fault but my own.
Still, I could have done more to stop it.
Don't worry. He'll be back soon enough.
Yes, I saw you working on the spell earlier. It'll be good to see him again. And,
Kind of nod absently.
Are you investigating the tome Mados is on, or did you just...
I've handed it back to her.
I see.
And I haven't said all this in the most elegant way, or how I've been thinking about all day, but the last thing is, and I know I've said not to use this and all that, and I tried to keep you from having to use this, and I tried to take the book from you, but in the fight against the werewolf, thank you. I made a promise to someone that whatever I do, I would come out alive. And that moment when I ran forward to push it, I didn't think I was going to be able to keep it. So, still, thank you. But, do you have any questions about anything?
We'll kind of give him another nod and a half smile. Again, like I said, I appreciate it, and you don't have to thank me. I was just doing what needed to be done.
No. I'll do my best to see that it doesn't have to be done again. And if it doesn't look like she has anything else to say, I'll head back down.
Okay.
I'll linger for just the briefest moment before following.
Alright. The two of you make your way back downstairs. The air a little bit lighter down here.
feel like the only thing that would be appropriate to them walking downstairs to is Gideon and Wesk playing finger football.
The two of you walk downstairs after your tense talks to discover that Wesk is sitting on Gideon's back as Gideon is now doing push-ups.
Punk.
Weren't you doing this earlier?
Yeah, I didn't finish. You got tired, remember? 37, 38.
Thoughts of riding a noble steed into battle, guns blazing, fill your mind, Wesk, though you would never admit to it to anyone.
Little did we know I was the Yoshi the whole
Alright. You finish all your push-ups, Gideon, sort of taking a moment to feel pretty good about yourself before it's been about 20 to 30 minutes and Brenda rounds the corner with a nice pot of stew. You each find yourself served a heaping bowl, and I do mean absolutely heaping bowl, of lobster stew.
Gideon's eyes kind of glaze over. Perfect time.
Wesk is going to dig in immediately as it looks incredible.
And it's made with
Well-
some criminy mushrooms, sweet shallots, and dry sherry.
So I'll eat as well.
Gideon will motion to Brenda to pull up a plate as well. Bowl, I guess.
Oh, no need. I've still got plenty to do. I'll eat what you lot don't. I do appreciate it, though.
I'm gonna have to mentally note not to eat the damn thing.
The party finds itself digging into some lobster. Ziri, do you also partake?
Yeah.
Very well. For just a moment, the anxiety you feel slips away. Ziri, as you realize that each time you raise the bowl to your lips and take a bite to eat, for just a moment, the figure in the periphery of your vision disappears. As you go to look at it, once again, sort of anxious and tired, you turn to look at it, except this time, Wesk is standing where the figure was. You blink at him once or twice before returning to your food. It seems like each time you go to stare at the figure, one of your party members happens to be blocking your line of sight to it. You don't know if it's just coincidence or the tricks of a tired mind, but for now, you find some respite.
Okay, out of character, now I really want lobster. Lobster bisque sounds really good right now.
What is it about our campaigns and like singling out specific food and drink that makes everyone else want it?
Stray is very good at describing food in detail. It's just kind of a thing.
I did the same thing on Thursday.
Oh yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
hungry on Thursday as well.
I was gonna say, not even a big fan of peach, but I was sitting there like, yeah, I'd like to try that.
Yep. To be fair, that one I didn't even know if it exists or not. This one is a dish I have eaten several times.
That's fair.
A lot of seafood. A lot of seafood.
Of course, we're in the wharf.
Us will probably be talking while eating. You know, we should head to Ringe after this. The sun should be setting soon.
Yeah. Oh, right. You weren't around for that conversation, Siri. Wesk is going over to Rin's to have his future read.
Oh.
Well, let's go swallow. I figure with all that stuff that happened, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. If that was my fate, I'm curious as to what's going on now.
I mean, fair enough, but didn't you ever think that maybe it was just lying?
Well, if it's lying, then Rin will point out that, you know, I still have, you know, the stars still have a plan for me. Let's go say that with like air quotes.
Well, can't hurt to ask.
Didn't she also say she had something else as well?
Yeah, there was something she'd been working on that she wanted to show me.
Mm-hmm. Gideon returns.
I'm curious. She said it would be something I'd be interested in.
Gideon nudges Cezanne once and then returns the plate again.
Huh?
But yeah, I figured it couldn't hurt, you know.
Ariel nod. Kind of absently eating her food.
I think the rest of us are going to go over pretty soon if you want to come along. I'm sure Rin would be happy to see you.
Join.
Okay. We each wrap
Cheers,
it up
sauce.
after about an hour of eating dinner. It has started to get dark outside, the sun rapidly setting.
Man, Brenda really knows how to cook a meal.
Yeah.
I'll say. I'm glad I got my routine done in before dinner this time.
Well, we should probably start heading over.
Yeah.
I'd kind of prefer a nap right now, but I guess we should probably go.
Alright. Making your way to Ren's.
Yeah.
That That'd be the plan.
Alright. You each sort of meander through the town. A little dark. Darker than you're used to in Wolfkrone, Gideon. There's not as many street lights as there are. As you approach, however, you do indeed see one Ren Sphinxy. The elf tiefling woman greeting you with a smile.
Aaron.
Hello, my friends. May I help you?
We're here for that reading Suzanne told you about earlier.
Yes, the reading. Yes, one moment. She hops up from where she was reading before, hastily. It looks like she is just kind of pushing stuff to the side and digging around for things.
Need any help there?
No.
Okay.
Looks like she is just prepping, pulling things out of a thing, looking for things, mumbling to herself about where she put those cards.
So idly look around. Not exactly a fan of awkward silences, but so Wesk is gonna look to the others.
Gideon's gonna be fidgeting with a random jewel off to the side.
Mm.
I wonder what this one is.
It's about this time. Ren breaks the silence. I found it. Found it. Yes. Okay. Gather round. What are we asking today?
I'll look to Wesk.
I guess I'm just interested in learning about my fate, my future, I guess.
Just a harrow reading, then?
Yes.
Oh. That's a little disappointing.
What were you hoping for?
Well, I was hoping to divine the stars, but if you just need a harrow reading, then well.
Well, let's say I recently learned that I was supposed to potentially be fated to do something, and I didn't do that, so now I'm just kind of trying to get a sense as to if that was supposed to have happened, or I'm kind of unsure what my fate is at this point.
Okay.
I guess we can start with a harrow reading.
Very well. My app is not working. I'm hoping that is not just broken. Uh, darn. Hmm. Darn. Yeah, my app that I had prepped for this no longer works.
I'm
Sag.
sorry.
It's okay. It's not your fault. I just didn't. I just didn't know it broke literally in the meantime. Um. Alright. I'm gonna have to improvise them.
Okay.
Well, instead of that, Wesk, why don't we just ask the stars for guidance in general? If you're unsure about your fate, we could ask about the fate of you all as a group.
I guess that would work.
I mean, I assume that many of you have questions, yes?
Yeah, why not?
Very well. You guys are at level 4. Yes, there we go. That could have been bad. Watch that thing spin on a 1 for a little bit. Very well. Ren begins to reach into her pouch before pulling out a deck of cards that you know as Harrow cards. Before laying them out in a 3x3 grid, flipping them over one at a time, she guides you through each card and its indications. It seems like, as she explains to you, she's consulting with the stars because the stars are actually glimpses into divinity. Very well. She glances around the room before consulting with each of you. It looks like the stars are telling me that they are looking out for you. In particular, it seems like, Wesk, you have a very bright future ahead of you. Not entirely sure what that might mean, whether that be glory or because you'll perform some incredible act, but it seems like the stars have given you their fortune. As usual, your guardian star watches over you and cares for you deeply. It loves you incredibly intimately. Out of everyone here, your star seems to be the closest to you. It says here, Gideon, your star is a little bit distant from you. I can't entirely guarantee exactly what that means, but for the most part, it seems like you have a mixed reading, a mixture of good and bad. Your star is a little bit distant, but not uncaring from you. Use is on. Your star is also distant. It seems like it does care for you as well, but there is good and bad, and well, I'm not sure how to say this, but it seems like there's some confusion among your star about, well, your future. Let's see. Huh, that's weird. Ziri, your star. She squints at the cards as she lays out the reading. She rubs her eyes once or twice. Well, that's strange. Ziri, your star... Well... You have 3 stars. Or 2? I'm very confused. I've never seen this before.
Never seen multiple stars before?
Yes. No. Well, the stars collectively watch over us all, but it's... You have 2 stars. Everyone is given a star to assign to them at birth. But 3? 2? I can't tell. More than 1, which is already strange, but 3, perhaps. Regardless.
What does that mean?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh.
It seems like there are many stars around you. It's really the 3rd star that worries me. It's blocking the others.
Blocking them how?
Well, it's like... And she throws her hand up to the painted night sky on the top of her tent, before holding up one finger and squinting, closing one eye. Well, it's like something is getting in the way. That 3rd star is blocking the other 2. It's in front of the other 2. It's strange.
Does it seem to be doing that out of good or bad intent?
I have no idea. But it is doing it on purpose. It's moving often.
Bless you.
Bless you. I've never seen that. Let alone 3 stars, not just 2. I wonder what that could mean. Oh, Cezanne.
Yes?
And Gideon.
Yeah.
Ren is going to hand you where is the other one? Please, game, I would like you to do the thing now.
Game can't make it easy on you.
Nope, no it cannot. Clearly it cannot. What the hell? Okay, well, regardless, we're going to do this then. Gideon, she hands you a deck of cards. They are packed in some parchment, tightly sealed with a length of rope. It's a good chunk of cards, but not as many as a Harrow deck.
What's this?
There we go. Maybe? Maybe. Did that work? No, it didn't. Why is this not working? There we go. She hands you a deck of cards. Each one of them is a thick parchment, about the size of a playing card. Each card is almost childlike in its simplistic description and color-coded. This is a cantrip deck. Notably, it is a beginner's cantrip deck. Ziri and Cezanne, you might have played with one of these when you were young and learning to cast spells for the first time.
Oh, neat. I thought it was a deck of many things. This is better.
It's significantly better. Cezanne, she passes you a beautiful, ornate-looking silver astrolabe.
Oh, is this the thing you were talking about earlier?
Yes. I had it imported from Wolfcrom earlier this week. I wanted it to be here sooner, but
It's incredible.
it is a silver astrolabe engraved in a language that you do not speak, inset with rubies and all sorts of wondrous gems. Incredibly well made and well oiled, it spins almost frictionless to the touch. You gently tap it and you watch as it spins and spins and spins, taking a while to stop. This one's a little bit special, Cezanne. I had it custom made.
Oh,
Yes. She also hands you a pulsing red rune. I said she passes you a pulsing red rune. Please, game. Dear God. Man, why did this work earlier but not now? Cezanne, she passes you a striking rune.
Yeah.
There. I had this one custom made so that it can accept runes.
the astrolabe can accept runes?
Yes.
I take it that means it's more than for guidance then.
Correct. This one has been enchanted to answer your call. The cosmic caravan and the stars, the constellations, they themselves will come down to help you.
Give it another good look over.
It's beautiful, made out of silver, platinum, ruby. It's got a calendar. It's got a northern star on it. All sorts of helpful astrological charts all around it. It is a Swiss Army knife for astrologers.
It's incredible. Thank you so much.
Don't thank me. I wanted to do something nice for you since you're so nice to me all the time.
Nonetheless, I much appreciate it.
Just remember, the first rune is free. I'll have to charge you for the rest.
Understandable. I'll have to see about bugging Raver to apply it later.
Alright. I will also point out, it's pretty late. I know some of you are getting tired. Let's go ahead and find a good stopping point, shall we?
Sure.
Fine to stop there if you'd like.
Alright. We'll say
I was gonna
that
say, I figure after that we probably head back.
we'll say that
And
Ren
then
bids
bed.
you a fond farewell before giving Cezanne a chaste peck on the cheek.
Have a good night, Ren.
You too, Cezanne.
I'll smile at her.
The trudge back to the inn is a mixed feeling for many of you. Ziri's mind completely full of unanswered questions. Cezanne's mind completely empty. Alright, let's go ahead and wrap it up there. I do want to congratulate each of you.
What?
Yes, that.
Oh.
I would like to congratulate each of you on being level 5.
About that.
I would like to congratulate each of you on being level 5.
I am glad that this leveling system is done by the curve, apparently.
Fine, I'll take it back if you don't want it.
No,
He's
no,
not
no.
level
I
five.
wasn't gonna say anything.
It's fine. I couldn't resist the joke. I'm sorry.
Do you want
Thank you.
it?
Yes.
Then it helps.
More than you know.
Alright. Go ahead and take your levels ups. Casters, I wish you the best of luck. Ziri, I will be here all week if you need me.
How do we take the level up?
You
Just
literally
jump to
changed the level in your character sheet.
Oh, I see. Hit enter. I think. Okay.
I know it's been a while since we've done this, but
Hopefully that's right.
And then just change your XP on the left to 23.
Ah, I see.
Regardless, any last thoughts, any last actions?
not right this second.
Very well. Alright, I think we settled on this in Seasons of Ghosts. Go ahead and vote on who did the cool thing that gets the XP point.
I'd say Wesk. Between both his practicing outside the town and his whole bit with the gift, I think he did a great job of being in character today.
Very well.
Anyone else?
Good to me. I agree.
I can go with that as well.
Thank you.
All right. And I will go ahead and give Gideon his 1 for having burnt through his. All right. Wesk has attained star power. All right. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night, everybody.